Good morning. I'm Liz Deal, and I'm here today to chat with you about cancer, our mindset, and CBD. Gosh, you know, cancer being diagnosed in 2010 and then having it come back in 2012, I've certainly had my fair share of this journey of cancer. And yes, so much of it is physical. We have surgeries, we have all kinds of things that happen to our bodies, but I really believe that 90% of this work is mind work. If we don't get our head wrapped around what's going on to us and why is it going on to us, it's hard to pull through it. And from the very beginning, I had to really sort out that whole marketplace of being a cancer survivor, because I felt like in my own head, I thought, wow, well, I've survived the flu, I survived the mumps and the measles, and I've survived a lot of stuff. But when I came through this cancer journey, I wanted to be a thriver. I wanted to thrive through all of this, not just survive it. So my mindset became thriving. But I also had to get help with my mind work because we have to be able to let go. We have to look back at our past, not that things that we did in our past caused this cancer, not that we're to blame for this cancer, because I don't want anyone to think that, but we do have to let go of things that just nag at us, things that cause us being stuck in one place. And even if we don't think that we have things in our closet or in our history, even in our childhood, we do, and we have to find them and we have to let go of them. Forgiveness is probably the biggest things, and that's forgiving ourselves. Having faith in a higher power, whatever that God is for you, having faith there, faith that we are thriving and that we will come through this really well. I had help with a dear friend who was a doctor and really worked in that spiritual realm of things, but she helped me work through that mind work of letting go and forgiving myself for things that happened in my past. And it's so important. Just before one of my mastectomies, about 2 weeks before the surgery date, I was chatting with her, the doctor, and she said to me offhandedly, she said, "Have you ever done numerology?" And I said, "No. Of course, I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it." And because she was trying to get me to explore every modality that there was out there, and I appreciated her for that. And I said, "Well, no," but I said, "I'm open." And I think that's super important. We have to be open to everything, no judgments. So I said, "Okay, tell me what I do to do this numerology." So I went online and of course took one of those numerology tests and found it somewhat interesting and found that my numbers were 468. So that 2 weeks before that surgery, I kind of went through each day thinking, wow, I wonder how 468 is going to show up for me, because those were supposed to be my numbers in numerology. So I had that on my mind constantly prior to that surgery. Well, I had that surgery that morning, and coming out of recovery, I was laying in the bed as they were wheeling me out of recovery into my room. And so we were going down the hall. I was very foggy, but I came to realizing that I was rolling down the hallway and there was a guy pushing me behind me. And so I was just looking at all of the rooms and the numbers going down the hallway. And I said, "There is my room. My room is right down there." And the guy said, what is your room?" And I said, "That's my room. It's 864. And he said, "Yes, how did you know that?" And I said, "Because those are my numbers, 468, 864. That's my room." And it was on down the hall. He was kind of like blown away. He goes, "Wow." He goes, "You're right. That is your room." So we pulled in there. So I was starting in this euphoric state of, oh my gosh, I'm in my room. I found my numbers. I think I made the right decision here. All is good. The world is good. So as I was laying there just kind of in this fog, but realizing that I was in the right space, that I had made the right decision, which isn't that one of the things that we really struggle with, is, are we making the right decision? So then a nurse came in and she was writing things on this whiteboard in front of me. And I saw her write the word super. And I laid there and I thought, oh my gosh, super, that's it. Super. I love that word. And I, of course, realized I was still in the fog. And then as she moved over, I saw her write the word vision. And I thought, that's it, supervision. I have supervision. I'm in the right room. I'm aligned with my numbers. Now my nurse is aligned with me. This is so perfect. I have done the right thing. I'm going to come through this with no fear, no problem whatsoever. So as I was just in this fog thinking about supervision, that I was seeing what my numbers were and I was in the right place, she walked away out of the room. And as I looked back at the whiteboard, she had written, patient needs supervision to get up and pee. And I started laughing because I thought, oh my gosh, do I ever have supervision? So, you know, I guess Norman Vincent Peale said you have to laugh in order to get through anything. And that sure gave me a really good laugh that day. So it kind of set the mood for that whole mastectomy thing and, you know, losing parts of our bodies and realizing that, okay, I'm going to embrace this supervision and work through this the best that I can. And I also want to share that with this mindset, a really important component of this is CBD, which is cannabidiol, which, remember, cannabidiol, the CBD, is the oil from the hemp, and it is non-psychoactive. So it's not going to mess with our brains. It's not going to get us high. It's simply going to help us get through whatever we're getting through. CBD is a huge anti-inflammatory and a neuroprotectant. So it does wonders with anxiety and depression. Earlier this year, I became certified in CBD physiology and health. And from my notes, because we had a whole section on depression and anxiety, and as we know, cancer can put us into a tailspin of anxiety, depression, and major stress. And so what CBD will do for us, it helps us with that excessive worry. And it's not always just worry about ourselves, it's worry for our family, for our kids, for the people that we love the most. And just directly from my notes, the CBD triggers or binds to receptors that are already in our bodies. We have CB1 and CB2 receptors throughout the body. The CB1 receptors are in our central nervous system. The CB2 receptors are in our immune system. So we have CB1 receptors in the amygdala, which is the portion of the brain for fight or flight, which is part of the reason that the CBD will bind to the CB1 receptors in the brain and will help our levels of anxiety, of stress, and depression. So it's so super important. CBD is also awesome for anyone who is in the throes of chemotherapy and radiation. So it's good for us. It helps balance our body. It helps bring our body into homeostasis. And whether you have just been diagnosed with cancer, or whether you are in the middle of all of the treatments, or you're just post-treatments, it's important to realize that in the U.S. especially, we are very clinically deficient in CBD, and it's important that we put that in our body because it's only going to do beneficial things and help us through this, help us in our mindset, help us not be so stressful about what is happening, which when our mind is at ease and at rest, our body is also at ease and at rest. And we are able to go through our day in a calmer way. We're also able to project that on others. Others will see that we are in a calmer situation. It'll bring less stress into our lives from other people projecting stress on us. So I highly recommend that you try CBD for your anxiety, your depression, your worry. Even if you say, hey, I don't have much of that, we know we do when we go through cancer, which is part of the reason that I did acupuncture. Acupuncture is fabulous for helping just dial down the stress of and the calmness, helping us become calm through this whole journey of cancer. So that's kind of my message for today, is to think about your mindset, work on it. It's such an important key aspect of this. Yes, physical is there, but mind, I think, is more important. If we don't get our head wrapped around where we want to be, that we want to be in thriving mode, not just surviving mode, that's truly a key to our recovery and a key to then turning around and helping others who need to get through their own treatment and recovery. So have a fabulous day. Think calmly, enjoy, and don't forget to take your CBDs. Bye.